When Queen released Bohemian Rhapsody in 1975, it redefined what a rock single could be. But behind their dazzling career of operatic vocals and stadium anthems, one song emerged as a lightning rod for criticism and for Freddie Mercury's own sharp dismissal. This track wasn't merely another experiment. It became a flashpoint for how Queen's ambition clashed with public expectation. And when the controversy swelled, Freddie brushed it off with a line that stunned fans and critics alike. It was only a bloody record. The song in question is Body Language, a track from their 1982 album Hot Space. At first glance, it might seem harmless, just another dance-inspired tune in the band's wide-ranging catalog. But for Queen's loyal rock audience, the song felt like a provocation. Built on a slinky bass line and minimal guitar, Body Language leaned into funk and disco at a time when those styles were often mocked by rock purists. Queen, the band behind the towering guitars of A Night at the Opera and News of the World, had suddenly stepped onto the dance floor. From the very start, Body Language was bound to ignite debate. Rock radio stations balked at its sparse arrangement. Some longtime fans called it a betrayal. The band had flirted with disco before. Think of the groove of Another One Bites the Dust. But this was different. Body Language wasn't a rock song with a danceable beat. It was a pure funk track. Freddie, ever the showman, leaned fully into the aesthetic with breathy vocals and a video dripping with sexual energy. That video added fuel to the fire. Directed with an avant-garde eye and loaded with homoerotic imagery, it pushed boundaries for early 1980s television. MTV hesitated, some broadcasters banned it outright, and tabloids pounced. Conservative critics accused Queen of vulgarity, while even some liberal commentators wondered whether the band had lost touch with its rock roots. Instead of retreating, Freddie relished the uproar. In interviews, when asked about the backlash, he cut through the moral panic with a single dismissive phrase. It was only a bloody record. Freddie's comment wasn't just a quip. It revealed his philosophy. For him, music was art, but it was also play. He never wanted to be confined by the expectations of fans or the rock establishment. While critics dissected the lyrics and debated hidden meanings, Freddie saw Body Language as exactly what its title suggested: a physical, sensual experience meant to be felt, not analyzed. Inside the band, reactions were mixed. Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon had all embraced experimentation before, but Hot Space represented a dramatic pivot. The sessions in Munich were soaked in club culture, with late-night parties and a parade of dance beats. Some members enjoyed the freedom. Others worried about alienating their base. But Queen had always thrived on risk. They were the band that merged opera with hard rock, after all. Commercially, Body Language delivered a complex outcome. It reached the top 20 on US charts and performed respectably in several countries, but it split the fan base. Critics were divided. Some praised the bold move into funk. Others dismissed it as self-indulgent. For many, it became a shorthand for Queen's supposed disco phase, a period that seemed to contradict their guitar-driven legacy. Yet history has been kinder. Decades later, Body Language stands as a testament to Queen's refusal to stay in one lane. Modern artists who blend genres, from pop to electronic to rock, owe something to bands willing to take those early risks. And Freddie's offhand dismissal, calling it only a bloody record, feels prophetic. He understood that the value of music isn't in how critics rank it, but in the freedom to create without fear. Looking back, the episode underscores what made Freddie Mercury unique. He was never just a rock star. He was a boundary pusher who recognized that art, sexuality, and performance were inseparable. Body language may not top fan polls, but it embodies the daring spirit that kept Queen unpredictable. For listeners today, the track is more than a curiosity. It captures the early 1980s collision of rock and club culture, a time when artists were challenging norms of sound and image. And it shows Freddie at his most defiant, unbothered by outrage, unafraid of failure, and unwilling to be boxed in. So, when you hear that pulsing bass and Freddie's whispered invitation, remember the stir it caused, and the man who shrugged off the world's judgment. To him, it was, and will always be, only a bloody record.